What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Another major going on in the news this past week. Nothing significant that I saw. I think there was another shooting. Supposedly some black kid pulled over or whatever and the cops shot him. But again, as normal, the media does not give you all the details of what actually went down. They play the race card. And of course there was another riot, so the supposed riot started because of it. But BLM literally looks for and tries to cherry pick certain cases so they can start riots. That's literally all they do. They want to try to divide people. So until all the details actually come in, people need to stop jumping to conclusions of what it might have happened, instead of actually getting all the facts and knowing what exactly happened. People just need to take a chill pill until everything comes out, and don't believe everything MSM tells you, obviously, because half of it's bullshit. Really this week I wanted to talk to you about a movie I just watched. Apparently they had a lot of problems trying to make this movie. It just wasn't working out right. And they finally put it out there. It stars Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley. It's called Chaos Walking. This is supposed to be a sci-fi movie, but it was really bizarre. It was strange. And I almost felt like some feminists wrote this because it had a lot of feminism in it. Apparently it's done sometime in the future. Man has begun colonizing world for a while, but it's been taking them, they don't have FTL or warp speed or anything like that, so it takes them years to get to a planet and colonize it, and even longer for another ship to come in and help out. So we're on this planet where years have gone by. I mean years. Like I think a couple of generations, maybe 200 years or so, or better. Apparently all the women are gone on this planet. At least that's what is told to Tom Arnold's or Tom Holland's character, is that there's no women because they came to a planet where there was already a species on there that was humanoid, and they wiped out all the women. Now he's told this by the mayor of the town. It seems on this planet all the men, their thoughts, secrets, whatever things they imagine, it all comes out in this little bubble off the top of their head where you can see all this. They can't keep it to themselves. They call it the noise. Now some have the ability to control it better than others, but very few. Another ship has finally arrived They call it the second wave. A scout mission of like 4 astronauts, 4 or 5 astronauts, were sent ahead from the ship to scout ahead, you know, find out what's all going on, if it's ready or whatever. Daisy Ridley is on this ship. Now, she's the only female on the whole crew. And she's the only one to survive out of the whole crew when the ship crashes onto the planet, which is kind of ridiculous, but whatever. Anyway, she's the only one to survive. Now, she crash lands near the village that Tom Holland's in, and they're just filled with men. I forget the name of the village. But she causes a stir. The mayor wants to kill her. Tom Holland doesn't understand why or what's going on. He later finds out, you know, that the village, all the men ended up killing all the women. Because they got paranoid, thinking the women were out to get him. Because the women could see all their thoughts and see their dreams and stuff through their little noise or air bubble thing or whatever coming off their head. This made the men paranoid, so the mayor got together all the men and they killed all the women, including Tom Holland's mother. He later finds this out. He grabs Ridley and they escape, and they go. He finally finds out that there's other villages, not just the one he was in, and they have women in them. Anyways, it gets crazy. They try to track it. The mayor and the other group try to track him down and kill him off.
You know who I am.
You find out from the main colony is the mayor split off from the main colony. His little group went a different direction and ended up killing all the women in their village. Anyways, I don't. It was just bizarre. The movie was weird. It was kind of a cool concept, but at the same time, the whole idea that only the men have this problem, the women don't, was a little strange. It left so many unanswered questions and plot holes. Like, you do meet the other humanoid species of the planet for just a brief second, and it doesn't tell you anything about them. Like, nothing is really told about them except for that they're there. That's it. Now, they have a noise with them too, but it didn't really show images or anything like that with their noise. So it's kind of weird. Like I said, it leaves so much out. It doesn't explain half the shit that's going on. It's really bizarre, really weird. I think the movie just bombed due to poor fucking writing. Like I said, it was a cool concept, but the writing, it was just, the storyline was just horrible. And it was so full of feminist cringe, it wasn't even funny. And it made the movie terrible. It really did. And you had a few good actors in this, so I feel sorry for them, because this movie was just, whoever wrote this bullshit was retarded, because they did it wrong. Cool concept. It just wasn't put out there very well. If you're just kind of, you know, you want to see something different for sci-fi, you know, if you like that kind of thing, you know, where they're experimenting with cool concepts, you know, you could check it out. But as far as the movie wise goes, it was terrible. You know, I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. You know, only if you're a hardcore sci-fi fan would I check this out. Otherwise, don't even bother. Alright, let's move on to your B-movie reviews, Movieholics. This week is Sci-Fi Week. The first one I watched, I'm not even sure if you could really call it sci-fi, because honestly, you know, it's labeled as sci-fi, but I couldn't really find anything that was really considered sci-fi. The movie's called Project X, and it was done in 1987, and it grossed about $21.5 million. It wasn't too bad. It starred Matthew Broderick and Helen Hunt, both really good actors. The movie's based on a true story, so where they're getting the sci-fi part from, I don't understand. Basically, it's about them taking chimpanzees, putting them in flight simulators, radiating them, and then seeing how long they can continue to fly after being exposed to radiation, large amounts of radiation. It was to kind of give a feel for how, you know, what would happen to pilots if they got radiated, and see how long they could last afterwards. It was kind of a sad story, but it was also a pretty decent story. Matthew Broderick, he plays this pilot who gets grounded and gets put into this Project X, and he gets attached to one of the chimpanzees, which was not supposed to be sent there. It was a chimpanzee that Helen Hunt had taught sign language. She was studying sign language and chimpanzees, you know, that kind of communication crap. But they ended the funding for her project at the university she was at, so they took the chimpanzee away. Well, instead of taking it to where it was supposed to go, which was a zoo, they took the chimpanzee excuse me, they took the chimp to this Air Force project. Now, the only part, you know, they have flight simulators, and they've been teaching chimps sign language for a number of years. The only thing I could think of that was really would be considered sci-fi was the machine they were using to radiate the chimps. That's literally it. The rest of it was all, you know, science. It was facts. You know, stuff that we already have. So I don't get it. I don't get what was considered sci-fi. Anyways, this chimp named Virgil, by the way, he kind of figures out what's going on. He's smart. He figures out what's going on and that they're killing him off. So he kind of creates this little rebellion or whatever, and they get out. And they eventually end up in a plane and fly off, take off, the chimps do. They don't get far, they crash land. But they're no longer in captivity. They're out and free in this forest or swamp area towards the end. It's a good movie. It's not bad. I really like this movie. The acting was spot on. You had some really, really good actors in this. I give the acting a 4 because it was really good as far as acting wise goes. Special effects, you really didn't have really hardly any special effects, but I'll give it a 3. You know, for the flight simulators and stuff like that. As far as the story goes, the story was a good story. It's based on a true story, and it doesn't surprise me that the military would be doing something like this. Not surprising at all. You know, secret experiments and people dying, or you know, even experimenting on animals. You know, this is something right up their alley. It's happened before. It'll probably happen again. It's just the way governments are. Very secretive. So yeah, I give the story's really good. I give it a 4. Overall, this movie gets a solid 4. I mean, it was really good. And I usually don't go that high as far as movies go, you know, scale 1 through 5, but this one was really good. I give it a 4. Definitely recommend it. 2 thumbs up. Excellent movie. The next movie we're moving on to, it could also be considered fantasy, but I consider it more sci-fi. Because it deals a lot more with science than it does with fantasy. And it's called Dreamscape. And it was done in 1984. It had Dennis Quaid starring in it, was Kate Capshaw, among a few other good actors. It made about 12 million worldwide, which wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. It did okay, just okay. And I'm surprised this is an underrated movie. It really is, because it is a really cool concept. And I think this was done, I'm not sure if this was actually done before Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street came out. I think it was. But the whole concept is you have government agencies who are funding a group that wants to experiment with psychics and dreams. Now what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to take the psychic and just a normal person and plug them into this machine. They both wear headsets in these chairs, and they're trying to consciously, almost like an out-of-body experience, you know, sending the consciousness of the psychic into the patient, into their dreams. The point of the project is try to help people with their dreams psychologically, you know, not just nightmares, but other things too, you know, like anxiety, you know, depression, that kind of thing. They want to help them through going into their dreams and trying to help them that way. Find out what's going on, what's causing them to have these dreams. Anyways, Alex, which is Dennis Quaid, that's his character. He's a top-notch psychic, supposedly. They get him into the program, and he catches on pretty quickly at how to do it. He goes in several times into people's dreams, trying to help them out. There's another psychic there named Tommy, who is kind of psychotic. He's a nut job. Well, there's the government official who's funding the project, he wants to use them as assassins to go into people's dreams and kill them in their dreams. Because if you kill them in the dream, then they'll die in reality. So that's what he wants to use the project for. The doctor who runs the project doesn't, but he gets caught up in it anyway. Apparently, he's like the head of CIA or something. He's real good friends with the president. He talks the president into going to this laboratory where they're holding the dream experiments at. He talks the president into going there, telling him that he could help them, or they could help him with his nightmares. He's been having nightmares of dropping the atomic bomb, or starting World War III. So he tells him he could help him with that. He tries to send Tommy in to kill him, and then of course Alex, Dennis Quaid's character, he goes in and stops him, and then at the very end, Alex knows that guy is going to end up killing him, so he ends up going in his dream and killing him, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. So he saves the president, kills Tommy, and then kills the CIA director in their dreams. So it's a pretty cool movie. Like I said, I think it was before Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street. Almost similar concepts almost. It was really good. More of an action adventure type movie. I definitely give this movie 2 thumbs up for sure. The acting was, really good. I give it a 3, not quite a 4, a 3+. You have some really good, decent stars in this. As far as special effects go, I give it a solid 3. The special effects, they were cheesy, but they weren't bad for at the time. So yeah, I definitely give it a solid 3. The story was new. It was unique. It was a really cool concept. I give it a 4 because that was a badass story. I definitely give it a 4. I kind of wish they'd do a sequel to this, to be honest. They should do a sequel to this. After so long, they find someone new to do it. I think it would be cool. And then last but not least, overall, the entire movie, I give it a solid 4. This was an excellent movie. Great movie. Check it out. Like I said, 2 thumbs up. I definitely highly recommend this movie as well. Alright, Movie-holics. That's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts on what I talked about earlier in this video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you know of any underrated B movies or gems I might have missed, please leave your suggestions down in the comments down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. Anyways, like I said, that's all I have for you this week. Until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.